Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening. Now, Lucinda, what would I be in my feelings about? That shit that happened last night is just another day on YouTube. It is what the fuck it is. It is what it is. It's another day, but definitely free Diddy. Diddy ain't did this shit they accused him of, man. He may be freaky, he may be despicable if you feel that, but he ain't guilty of this shit they charged him with. Now, if they had to charge him with domestic violence, by all means, he need that time. But that ain't what they charging him with. They charging him with a whole bunch of bullshit. And so it's free Diddy. These folks was willing participants. They ain't had to be a Cosby experience. No, Lucinda, I typed in the chat. I played this song like 3, 4 days ago. I just said it was a Dolph. When I played, I had a whole little Dolph playlist, and that was just in it, and it's just been in there. No, it wasn't no damn subliminal. I mean, I'm sorry it seemed that way, but I had been played this song a couple days ago before anything popped off. But I mean, if it fits, it just fits. But nah, it wasn't subliminal or nothing. It's the same. It's just an extra song. I've been playing the Diddy and I've been playing the Big X and Lil Wayne just since I heard that song that they lied. What the hell, Lucinda? Why do we need to know you just got off your cycle? Don't nobody need to know about your bloody pussy, Lucinda. I'm sorry. He is starting to show off wrong. Really? Nah, I ain't, I said all I need to say about last night. I did. I ain't got nothing else to say. Damn it. How did I get off this screen? Son of a bitch. Judge. Okay, here we go. Before the defense, the judge says, before defense closing, what about the laptop of exhibits? We are both still working on it. There are a lot of exhibits. Why don't we not give the laptop to the jury until Monday? Today we have the defense, the rebuttal, and my charge. Why the hell do the prosecution get to say something last? I think that's a bit unfair. They spoke first. The defense should have the last word, but the prosecution get to say the same shit that they said yesterday all over again. Trey, your ass don't have to read all my comments, nigga. Dag nabbit. They on the screen, and so I just the world saw that, ma'am, the world. So deliberations will start Monday. I sent the parties my charge in the verdict form. Neither is yet in the docket. May I confer with Mr. Agnifilio? Of course. Garagos about Mia. Mr. Agnifilio would like to show Exhibit 1727. Hold on. All right. Would like to show Exhibit 1727 on an easel. We redacted her name so that no one in the gallery can see her face. The government wants to put a post-it note over her face. How are you to place it? Test it. They laugh. The public can't see it, so it should be fine. That's fine. Let's bring in the jury. There's a juror with transit issues. We're inquiring. Okay, we'll wait. That's always some with these motherfuckers. So we have all our jurors. We're starting 5 minutes. Meanwhile, Combs has been taken back into the holding cell by the marshals. Are you prepared to proceed with the defense closing? There is a trial set forth by the text messages. Then there's the trial out of the prosecutor's mouth. They are different. The trial from, see, this is what Diddy and spent like $100 million on. This is the $100 million defense here. It all rides down and comes down to this right here. Now you want, go get some ice cream, Lucinda. Go get some ice cream. The trial from evidence. What is it? It is personal use drugs. That's all it is. That and swingers, a lifestyle. But the prosecutors have charged one of the most serious statutes on the book. They call threesomes and drugs as RICO. Man, keep in mind, the RICO is what Young Thug and them was just charged with, when niggas was dying and shit of that nature. And then what the mob and them went through with RICO, where they was killing folks, selling dope, gambling, extortion, all types of shit. I want to thank you for your service to our country. I would love to speak to you for days, but it's Friday. I'm trying to be efficient. I have to cover a lot of ground, but I'll focus on the most important part. Sean Combs. Sean Combs is a self-made Black entrepreneur. He has built real businesses that are so outstanding that others create partnerships with them. We heard from Derek Ferguson. It's hard to be Sean Combs. How many witnesses said they were moved? The assistants were moved by Sean Combs. It was like Harvard Business School. He pushed me hard. Did they always like him? No way. Let's not even go there. Did they like him? No, but they loved him. Even the ones who were suing him. Mia, I'm not going to call her Mia because that's not her name. I'm going to call her the witness who testified as Mia. Remember Derek Ferguson from the Bronx? He said there were not many hiring people like me from the Bronx. But that old Diddy did. Free Diddy. There's something more to these businesses. Sometimes the real things in life are hard. No one remembers the easy days. These people grew. It was real. It was diversity. These days, DEI, Combs was doing it at 24. The prosecutors call his businesses racketeering. That's the fake trial. That's what happens. He gets arrested. They destroy his property. They have a SRT, special response team. They are clandestine. Can't follow with the camera. Rampant they ran. His kids were there, and here, 6 of 7 in the second row. The 7th is an infant. This is who he is. The man takes care of people. Daphne Joy came here and testified against him. Today, she's in a house he's paying for. And they found it. Boxes of Astroglide taken off the streets. Yeah, that's funny because they took this shit, they confiscated and took it off the streets so nobody else could have lube. I'm just saying, like they never specified what the Astroglide was for. Now, I think we all pretty much think that the Astroglide was maybe used for anal, but what if he was using it as baby oil? Memphis does not have a 7-Eleven. I'm looking down because I really normally don't see the chat. But I'm looking down because niggas have more than one account, so I'm just looking. And they found it. Boxes of Astroglide taken off the streets, and they got the baby oil and all the personal use drugs. America is safer. 5 Valium pills. When you're doing work like that, we can't photograph you. That's evidence. What do? They wrap yellow crime scene tape figuratively around his bedroom, around the hotel rooms he goes to with his girlfriend. That's a lot of crime scene tape. The crime scene is your private sex life. No one called 911. They called civil plaintiff lawyers. This case is about money. Cassie Ventura sues Combs for $30 million because he has $30 million. If he doesn't have it, no civil lawsuit, no criminal case. Okay, then. This case is about 5 minutes. It's about love. Love as being said more than 800 times in this trial. The domestic violence, we own it. We did not ask Miss Ventura about being hit, kicked, or dragged. We did not cross Daphne about it either. But domestic violence is not charged. If he were charged with that, he would have pled guilty. He did that. but he did not do racketeering, conspiracy, and sex trafficking. He did not kidnap or bribe anyone. The first person to say this was about domestic violence was Cassie Ventura. She made an Instagram post. She said, "Thank you for your love and support. The domestic violence is the issue." She could have said anything on her phone or tablet. She could have said this was about sex trafficking. She didn't say that. She said it was about domestic violence. Believe her. Believe Cassie when she says domestic violence is the issue. In that moment, watching that video, imagine that. To see their relationship is to see everything that racketeers is not. I'm not going to go through a lot of text messages or charts or screen time. It's a terrible thing, screen time. I'm told I'm going to tell you the story of this case. They fell in love. Cassie had a boyfriend of 3 years, 10 years older than her, but she meets Combs. Damn. So she had an old nigga before she met Puff Daddy. So she was just used to dating older niggas. I did not know this. Cassie had a boyfriend of 3 years, 10 years older than her, but she meets Mr. Combs and they are off to the races. Mr. Combs rents a boat and they make love for the first time. They are in an intense relationship, 11 years. Cassie is smart. She flat won. She's got 30 million and he's in jail. You probably know that. The nice looking men behind him, they are U.S. Marshals. They keep him safe. Cassie has won 100-0. They tell you she's a victim. This is a great modern love story. They didn't write these in the past because they didn't have these problems. He had 6 kids at the time. It's a relationship based on love. Cassie says she was young and insanely jealous. If you're in the jury room and you don't want to go home, read their text messages at the time of the breakup. You will cry. They were selfless with each other. When it wasn't going to work for the original sin of their relationship, that Gina wouldn't come here, but she's out there. Then Kim Porter passed away, and Mr. Combs said what he did. For Cassie, it was the last straw. She made an adult choice and left like she always could leave. What happened? Nothing. Great point. When she left, and nothing happened. Pick a message from 2018 and read it. These two people loved each other. If racketeering conspiracy had an opposite, it would be their relationship. They were their best selves when it came to sex. There were times that Sean Combs was proud. On sex, they found each other. It's a beautiful thing. You won't find a single text message where she says, "I didn't like that sex." It was an 11-year relationship. The issues were jealousy and other women, but they match up when it comes to sex. Swingers. She's a woman who loves sex, and it's beautiful. She is unafraid. Let's talk about Kid Cudi. He came in here. I'm not meaning to be judgy. Cudi comes in here and says, "Cassie played me." She did. She played them both. Not everyone can do that. She goes for it. She liked to Combs as she had a relationship with another singer-songwriter under his nose. Oh, she lied to Sean Combs as she had a relationship with another. Okay. She's not afraid of him. Was she going to tell either? No. Cassie is keeping it gangster. She's like, I'm going to lie to them both. Not keeping it gangster. This nigga done broke out the slang words and terms. Okay. Come on home then, Diddy. Cassie gets a burner phone, finally. That's what you expect in a racketeering case. She's the one who got the burner phone. The morning of December 22nd, 2021. The whole thing with Cudi and all that, she had 2 hotel rooms. Whoa, a room for the burner. She was not going to tell nobody nothing. Let's talk racketeering. The judge is going to give a legal charge later today, assuming. The first one is the 2004 kidnapping of Capricorn Clark. Let's talk about her. She said, "I wanted my life back." Capricorn Clark's parents passed away when she was young. I don't mean any disrespect. She told you, "I'm happy." She did. Others didn't tell you about their parents. She moves to the Bronx and meets Sean Combs. She goes super platonic. What? I think she means she didn't want it to be platonic. She's out there. You could see it. She says, you know, I had the biggest crush on you. I think we misused our dope chemistry. If she's getting kidnapped, why does she want to go back and work for him? She's getting her nails done with Mike B. He's going to be mad at me, she says. Call 1440 and said lock everyone in. She got the lie detector, and Mike B did too. How was she kidnapped if she went home every day? Is the government alleging 5 separate kidnappings? Polly drove her home, door-to-door kidnapping. The SDNY is charging this as kidnapping. Laughs. It's not a kidnapping. You guys come here after day, long days, and you come back the next. Have you been kidnapped? No. At that time, Sean Combs is in Raising in the Sun. He's running vote or die. He couldn't care less about this. The lie detector was former FBI. You guys have the right to say, huh? That sounds like a stretch. Why charge it as kidnapping? Come to whatever answer you think is the right answer. Capricorn leaves for a year. She makes more money than she comes back. Next, Sean and Cassie are having a freak off. It's December 22nd, 2011. Cassie has 2 hotel rooms. Combs looks at her non-burner phone, sees messages with CC about Kid Cudi, maybe calls Scott in the text, something about hiking. Why would he have a gun? He goes to get Capricorn. Why? She would do anything with him. Go to the moon. He didn't need a gun. He didn't have a gun. Cudi said Cassie told Cudi that Cassie already told Combs. Are you following me? I don't even get that whole little statement there, but whatever. Sean Combs has nothing to gain by having a gun and everything to lose. He is already Sean Combs. Capricorn would love to have stayed employed. If he pulled a gun on her, no way, it didn't happen. No gun. Well, I guess he was saying she wouldn't have stayed employed if he pulled a gun on her. Cudi didn't say that Capricorn said Combs had a gun because there was no gun. Working backward, Cudi didn't tell the police about a gun. It was written up as a trespass. That's all. There's no gun. Capricorn's story falls apart. There was the car chase, or was there? Cudi pulled up next to the Escalade. The witness said there was no car chase. The judge is going to say you can discard any witness if you find something not credible. If you see fit, it's all you need. Seems like everything is possible with Capricorn Clark. I asked her. She said, I came up here with Puff. I want to run away. I'm afraid of mountain lions. Mountain lions? I'm not saying they aren't scary, but if you were kidnapped with a gun, no. I don't. She would. I don't know what he's saying there. I guess he's saying you scared of mountain lions, but you weren't scared of the gun when you were kidnapped. I'm guessing this is what he's trying to portray. She doesn't want to say, I went there by my own volition. I'm not saying Sean Combs didn't go there. He wanted to fight him. Fine, motherfucker. Combs is not a coward. He's ready to fight. At the risk of being sexist, they are men. They fight. We're going to have a good old-fashioned 8 a.m. Hollywood Hills John Wayne fight. The Porsche, not his style. There's no evidence. Who else would do it? Not evidence. Burning a car is cowardice. Be a man and fight him. What's in the car? Molotov cocktail. Why not show you the glove? I am suggesting something. Yes, that the investigation stunk. It's terrible. 2 fingerprints. What happened? Well, I don't know. You're going to determine his fate on arson on this. The DNA was consistent with the female contributor. That witness was not helpful. If it had come back consistent with Combs, they would have bragged about it. Investor Jimenez never followed up. He tried to find Cassie. Jimenez said Capricorn, hold on, y'all. Jimenez said Capricorn's brother obstructed him. They fought. I'm not saying Capricorn did it or Cassie did it. We're not here to solve the world's problems. Cassie's father didn't call him back. The witness was mad. Draw your own conclusions. Here's an email. Why is she calling him Sean Puffy Combs? For some later proof. She doesn't mention any car. Forget it. Let's turn to the London hotel. If you want to go to someone's house, it's not a kidnapping. It's unfair. Cassie is public too. Remember, Cassie also didn't want the tape out. She had a movie coming out. Let's go back to what was said about the hotel staff maybe leaking the footage. They were worried about publicity, not a misdemeanor. Guess what happened? It was sold. The police were nowhere near this situation. Is Combs acting like a fool, calling Cassie and saying police are about to arrest him? She is freezing him out, as she should. He's just trying to get her attention. He leaves, goes to her apartment. He's banging on her door, maybe with a hammer. Carrie Morgan said that's why the police called. A neighbor called. The Intercontinental has no police, period. So he cannot be guilty of bribery under California law, as the judge will tell you. And when Mia, the witness who testified as Mia, said she was out of Skrilla money, they should have told you that. Sean was concerned about Cassie suing him. He was not aware of any federal investigation, if there was one, so it's not obstruction. He's trying to stave off a lawsuit, and when it comes to Jane, he still might. Shall we break here? This would be fine. And then they took a break. Oh, shit, why is Coleman talking? I did not want to object, but he asked the jury to ask why the prosecutors charged as they did. We needed a curative instruction after the break. He told the jury that the Intercontinental was a misdemeanor. It was. It's assault. That's all it was. It was assault. It was misdemeanor. Domestic violence. Unless in wherever the fuck, if it's in California, unless it's a felony, but in most states, domestic violence is a misdemeanor. It definitely was. I don't know why she's objecting to that. He told the jury Mr. Combs is charged with arson. That is not the case. It is a RICO predicate. Mr. Agnifilio, I was going to get to RICO on the rest. It's fair comment. You said, why charge a kidnapping? You can ask that. I think I'm allowed to be sarcastic. That's what I was doing there. In the Intercontinental video, it's a state matter, not federal. It's a fair comment. Exactly. Can the government propose? Yes, after the break. He on point, though. Like, what the fuck? This ain't no federal. Like, he wasn't going to get no federal charge for whooping her ass. Do you have proposed language? Yes, Ms. Steiner has emailed the defense our proposed curative instruction. Mr. Agnifilio, those three were grossly improper. Just to be blunt about it, the jury is not to speculate about the charge. Nah, I don't think that was improper. I will tell them it would be improper for you to consider that you were to disregard. It would be improper for you to consider that you were to disregard those comments. And Alexander Superior, we did not object yesterday since you called out Mr. Agnifilio. I didn't call out anything. There was an objection. But you told people, you said yesterday they couldn't object, and they didn't. She said a lot of shit. And now you accepting the objection today when you said it shouldn't be none. All right, they are okay. All the lawyers are speaking up. Miss Slavic told the juror there may have been guns at freak-offs. There's no evidence of that. It was outrageous. No one is doing anything proper. You made no record yesterday. Here, I'm not giving the multiple instructions, just one. We asked you do that at the end, not now. It would suggest Mr. Agnifilio did something improper. Comey said, it's needed now. Judge said, let's get our juror. Combs leans over and whispers to Agnifilio, who takes a note. Before the break, it was suggested you should consider why this was charged. That it is not proper. I will be instructing you on the law. Mr. Agnifilio, Now we're talking about Mia. She loved working for Mr. Combs. That was not forced labor. Remember the birthday video we showed? She was bubbly, popping. That's the real her. You are free to conclude she put on an act here. If Mr. Combs felt it was improper, he would not threaten to tell Cassie it was consensual. When Mia says it was not consensual, she's not telling the truth. There was no unwanted sexual contact. Mia's feelings were not platonic. Mr. Steele questioned her about these wonderful pictures and slogans. Effusive, not just a job. This is a demonstrative. You can't take it into the jury room. Consider the scrapbook she made. I'm going to read it to you. Happy 45th birthday, Puff. This is from 91 to 99. Hope it stirs up nostalgic feelings. How great you've become. She loves you. You can't fake that. That's real. Don't lose sight of that. It's not just business. He gives people a home. Look at this picture. Think of a word that comes to mind. Joy. There's KK, D-Rock, Fahim. He created a remarkably special place. He moved people in their hearts and souls. When Mia is told she's being fired, that she's going to leave the special place, Mia, my life is over. KK, OMG, what the fuck, Mia? That's not funny. Racketeering. Co-conspirator KK writes, Mia, answer your phone or I'm going to call your parents. That's the last thing she wanted to do was leave, and it's forced labor. Let's turn to drug distribution. The U.S. said personal use is a distraction. Brendan Paul said these were personal use drugs. He said he forgot to take the cocaine out of my bag. He said, I got the best lawyer in the world and my charges were dismissed. That's what he said. Sean Combs was not selling drugs. Cassie said he was a drug addict. How was he supposed to get them? Grow his own Xanax? Did he have drugs? Yes, they found it in his house. Was he using his enterprise to distribute drugs? No. You're going to have to think through this. Didn't Mia go to work for Madonna? That's how people use personal assistants. I don't expect we're going to see Beyonce in CVS. The assistants buy Astroglide. It's not what the company is doing. This is not a racketeering act. I'm going to RICO. There's no evidence of possession with intent to distribute drugs. David James said he's in Saint-Tropez. He's asked to get an 8-ball of cocaine. For you people that don't know, never mind. I asked him, anything to do with Sean Combs? He said no. No, he kept it from him. Why would he hide it? It's people in creative fields doing what people in creative fields do. It's not racketeering. I'm going to talk about Cassie. Can you sex traffic your girlfriend? Maybe if you push them into prostitution, but he's not making money from it. Jane has some texts that are very anti-hotel night. Cassie, she doesn't. People are in love. People are having sex. Let's say your partner wants to do something and you don't. Where does that land? Cassie wanted this, including to be close. Hold on, people. It's like my wife is from Los Angeles. I hated LA. Now I love Los Angeles. Sorry, that's how it happened. Cassie, she's a beautiful, sexy person. She was with Michael B. Jordan, like the most handsome man in the world. She's not messing around. Cassie is not clutching her pearls. This is how I am intimate with the man I love. You could come to love that. You want to be close. Yesterday, they said she might have won it. Oh, they said Keynes, Daniel Phillips in the Intercontinental. If she liked 75, can number 76 be sex trafficking? Talk about going 0 to 60. Nothing said to him. She doesn't even want to do these again. Mr. Donaldson cross-examined Daniel Phillip. Let's look at the text. Sean asks, are you horny? She says yes, talks about fantasies. That's their lifestyle. She writes, I'm not going to do too many of these. My mother would. She writes, my pussy is so hot. They're going through this together. I'm going to play part of the video. In this Intercontinental video, it's more likely than not, it's Combs' phone. Here she is. I'm not going to show you him throwing her down. You've seen it. I'm not hiding it from you. Now there's a phone. And here now, a well-known man sitting in his towel and socks. Looks like Cassie is saying, you're being a fool. Go back to the room. Look at it. It looks to me like she says, go back to the fucking room. There's nothing scary in the room then. Hold on. If I just took my French fry, I can't have shit. Okay. Go back to the fucking room. There's nothing scary in the room there. 5 days later, he texts, I'm so sorry. She replies, LOL. I was just listening to sorry. They are obviously getting over it. Cassie writes to Sean, how do I know if the drugs are going to be bad or you'll drink too much? This is about the hotel. Cassie told you sometimes she hit him first. They are in this together. Okay. She says there was a rape. It did not happen. It is not charged. She was asked and said, he raped me, but there wasn't a lot of lead up. Maybe it didn't happen. Cassie wrote to Combs. Cassie is with her current husband. Something happened, she wrote. I told myself I didn't want anything to happen, but I'm not tripping on it. I know you aren't either. She gets a FaceTime. Boogie Bat phone is her husband. Combs wrote, you act like a broken-hearted angel. You need to stop living your lie. Cassie says, I don't know who that was. I was saying thank you for last night and enjoyed it. The oldest trick. I don't know how Alex found out, but she says rape. There is no evidence of rape. She had a consensual sex with him. After, I have to defend this. It is in the case, but it's not charged. Cassie was asked, what kind of pain did Sean put you through? She spoke about his own personal pain, his shame. It's beautiful, she said. He felt pain, and most painful to me was carrying around his shame. Jane says almost the same thing. I felt my partner was trusting me in a very vulnerable moment. I wanted to go along if I could be my partner's escape. Jane says, I'm getting vulnerable with you in the hotel rooms. I don't want to see young Miami on a bigger yacht with you. That's not sex trafficking. If you get deep into this deep self, this is not sex trafficking. I guess it's deep stuff. It's people in love being real. Your Honor, I was going to go to one, if now. If I was going to turn to Jane, we can break. I was going to turn to Jane, we could break. Okay, to 145. And he said, I have an hour left. And it's coming, so I'll charge it 4 or even 5. And the judge said, I've thought about it, and it makes more sense for me to charge the jury on Monday morning. Otherwise, it will be too late. With that, let's bring our jury out. Welcome back. You may proceed. There was a suggestion. Cassie didn't get the same amount of promotion as others at Bad Boy. I think Capricorn Clark is an imperfect witness, but she did say Cassie got the lion's share. Either side played videos for the witnesses, but Cassie's videos were on her devices. She said the devices were damaged, but the expert was able to open it. I don't know what role these videos played in her life, but she didn't delete them. In the videos, the hotel rooms are beautiful. The music is great, Usher and whatnot. You were never meant to see these videos. Let's be honest. Sean Combs was never going to release these videos. He might have said it, but no way. No way. He never did. Cassie is eating watermelon. Son of a bitch. I bet she has some fried chicken too. They are listening to music. These are beautiful nights. The 2 escorts, the Punisher, I call them, he got it from basketball on West 4th Street. They thought Cassie was really into them. They were naive. I don't think this is the only man making homemade porn in America. No comment. I think it is a pretty popular thing these days. Daphne Joy, she wants to post things on Instagrams, I guess. That's what she's into. I think she loves Diddy. You guys know who the father of her child is, 50 Cent. You know who she was with in Vegas. Now, I don't know who she was with in Vegas. They ain't say who it was. She is comfortable with this. The government is not saying every hotel night is sex trafficking. They isolated September 2023, jealousy over a yacht. Sometimes Jane didn't like the guy. She said one smell. Then the guy is sent back. 3187, the escort gets sent packing. He's a bum, but they still paid. No sex, got paid, paying for time. Yesterday, they just dismissed it, but that's what happened. Jane wanted it to happen. She called her guy, Cabral. She liked Cabral. She wrote, muy caliente. Then there's the sobriety part. Jane is angry over Gina. And then she says she regretted it, resented it, but she agreed to do it, unfortunately. She said that she agreed to do it, unfortunately. She agreed, that's it. We can be done with it. The house. Jane had the worst lawyer in the world. Her low child support from the father, in my opinion, the $6,000 a month. Mr. Combs did the right things, paying. Agnifilio says it's damned if you do, damned if you don't. He's paying for the house for a child. It's not his responsibility. They watch porn. Jane got him a mobile TV to watch it so he'd make less porn. She said, I'm not sure that's how it works. The photos, Combs had a big pour of wine, strawberries in there, but it's big, not like a fancy restaurant. Half an hour later, something inexplicable happens. She slams his head into the counter and calls him a pedophile. The woman, Ali, is of age. Jane says Combs kicked her doors in, but he didn't hit her. I'm not saying he should, but he didn't. Here's what we know. A text from Jonathan Perez says they're fighting at 10:14. He says, just normal, being jealous. PD says, don't come All good. Now Jane changes into another dress. I don't know. No sweat. She says she just hides behind a wall for 2 hours. I submit it's just not possible. She's just wrong or lying. I don't know. She comes back. Combs is in the street. No violence. Okay, it looks like she was hit twice. Doesn't look like he hauled off, nor that he dragged her. You know what this is? She is documenting her injuries. Let's talk about Anton. She sees him in Vegas with, you know who, a rapper of some prominence. She is watching Anton have sex. She asks, "What did you do?" She says, "I showed my breast." Why? It sounds like spring break. Then the rapper goes up to her with a question about the swingers lifestyle, and she gives them Cabral's phone number. The story doesn't make sense. Let's say something else happened in Vegas, and then it's the same Anton who comes to her house. Coincidence? The one who shows up at her house is Anton. What she says make no sense. Anton is a porn star. He has sex. Jane knows there's an investigation. Did she instigate this? Her story makes no sense. Why was she so persistently violent? She says, "I didn't want to do it, but she let Anton in." I submit they were trying to get past it. Oral sex only. At the end of the day, her story has so many holes in it. You could say she prompted it. She maybe wants something in her pocket. I'm going to have something. Maybe I'll never use it. Why the unprovoked extreme violence? She doesn't explain it. You guys are here because you have lived full lives. You were chosen, and they chose only two of the escorts, the Punisher and Daniel Phillip. They could have given others immunity. Neither of the two admit to being a prostitute. They're witnesses. If you get paid when you didn't have sex, you're getting paid for your time. In Sean Combs' mind, this is legal. It would be different if a witness said, "I had sex and there was a negotiation for it with Sean Combs." I assume in every porn movie, the actors get, oh, son of a bitch, there he go. Hey, this is why he getting off free. Now, that's a great point. Every person that shows up on a set to do porn gets paid. And the Punisher said he initially was there setting up fantasies and things of that nature. I assume in every porn movie, the actors get paid to have sex, and yet it's legal. So he thinks it's legal. Okay, let's talk racketeering. Here's page 14 of the charge, the enterprise. The group must have an organization. You will hear this. Only Sean Combs is charged here. No one testified. It was a part of a racketeering enterprise. This is the greatest divide between the evidence in this trial and what prosecutors are saying. There is a gaping lack of evidence. They didn't charge racketeering. They charge racketeering conspiracy. They need a co-conspirator, and they just don't have one. They claim KK. The evidence shows at this trial shows KK is a helpful person. Kerry Morgan called KK and D-Rock. They are not co-conspirators. If John Gotti were kicking in your door, would you call Sammy the Bull Gravano? No, he is a co-conspirator. There is only one trial. KK is not a co-conspirator. KK is a very nice person. There's no evidence that anyone is a co-conspirator. The firearms are not charged. Homeland Security cannot say where the guns were. The Suge Knight story, it's not charged. Don Richard, remember her? Miss Warland did the cross, not charged. Yesterday, the government said in the videos, you don't see guns, but he probably shouldn't keep videos with guns in them. Is that fair? That's a little sinister. Why are they doing that? And it was Cassie who asked to be urinated on. At some point, you can ask, can I trust the prosecutors? It takes a lot of courage to acquit. I think the evidence shows, and you can conclude, that the government targeted Sean Combs. I wouldn't say that if Cassie went to Homeland Security. America is great because each citizen in the government, there's a jury. This is your house, and I'm asking you to summon that courage to do the right thing and acquit Sean Combs on all counts. He is not a racketeer. He is innocent. Let him go home to his family. Thank you. The judge says, Ms. Coleman, would you like a break before rebuttal? Yep, 15. The jury leaves. Slavic arguing already. He brought up conduct that hasn't been charged and Mr. Combs was being targeted. We request curative instruction. Mr. Agnifilio, you should have phrased it differently, but you went on to focus on lack of conspiracy. What about the targeting charge? How is that not improper? No one went to law enforcement and complained. It's a fair comment. He said what he said, targeted. It's improper. A curative instruction is required. They made the argument pre-trial and they lost. This was inappropriate. I intend to add something to the charge. They should focus on whether the government proved each charge beyond a reasonable doubt. Slavic said, we like it now. There is bedrock law that these arguments to the jury are improper, so I'll give the instruction. We'd like it Monday. I'll do it when the jury comes back in 5 minutes. Jury's back. You heard that Mr. Combs was targeted. That is not to be considered. That is not your concern. Ms. Coleman, the defendant did not take no for an answer, certainly not from his girlfriends. He beat them. They suggest he didn't pay for sex, that there was no enterprise, and that witnesses lied, but he flew sex workers across the country to have sex with Cassie and Jane while he masturbated. It was not for their conversation. It was for sex. Remember Daniel Phillip? He said he got paid for sex. When he had performance issues, he stopped getting paid. The Punisher, 500 with no sex, thousands with sex. So he got paid both times. So this is fucking crazy. I suspect you'll hear that uncalled witnesses were equally available to both sides. Maybe some of these men would have worked for free having sex in front of the mass masturbating celebrity, but they got paid. The defendant is guilty of counts 3 and 5. An enterprise can have unlawful and lawful purposes. KK, uncalled witnesses are equally available to both sides. Did they agree to at least 2? Yes, quick hits. The kidnapping is corroborated by Kid Cudi. He said she was forced to go along with them. Mr. Agnifilio said Mr. Combs is a fist guy. Sure, when it's his girlfriends. With men, he needs guns. The London Hotel. See, they could object there. Cassie goes after, and he stumped on her face. She wasn't allowed to go to her mom. There's a kidnapping. Diddy done beat up Drake, Wale. There's a whole bunch of niggas Diddy done beat up. Diddy has been gangster. He made Cassie go after he stumped on her face. She wasn't allowed to go home to her mom. There's a kidnapping. The arson. Somehow the glove fell off someone's childlike hand. No, he said he would do it, and he did. Cassie said it. Eddie Garcia. He believed he could not go to the police under the agreement. And Combs said, watch out how you spend it. Bribery. That's watch out how you spend it. How's that bribery? That's like, shit, don't spend it too fast now. You probably ain't never had $50,000 in your life. This is a guy that can't get his own water bottle or plug in his own phone charger. He's the general. He delegates. KK knows the Wild King nights involved escorts. The only reason he needs thousands of dollars in hotel rooms is to pay escorts. KK reads all of Combs' texts. So she knew KK alone makes Combs guilty of count 1, drugs. Mr. Agnifilio talked about conspiracy to distribute, but giving drugs to Cassie and Jane is distribution. That is enough. Mr. Agnifilio claims they wanted it. The defense theory is Cassie wanted to be urinated on, that Jane wanted to have sex with Antoine after being beaten, and Mia wanted to be penetrated, that Cassie and Jane wanted to spend days in oil with UTIs and high-heel strange men. Mia said no. Cassie said no on her 29th birthday. Jane said no before Antoine after being beaten. These women, stage whisper, had no reason to lie. The defense said it's for money, but Cassie already got paid. If Cassie were lying and she already got paid, why would she take the chance of perjury in a federal trial? This is a woman standing up for what is right. Mia already settled the mediation. There's no reason for her to put on a show for you. Jane doesn't intend to sue. These women refuse to let trauma swallow up their whole lives. That struggle tells you these women told the truth. They broke free of the defendant's manipulation. Jealousy is not a defense to sex trafficking. Jane picking out Cabral and Antoine was her way of taking back some control. Yes, she texts escorts. Sometimes he told her, sometimes she knew he would ask. She felt she had no choice. That's coercion. The defendants did hit Cassie during freak-offs. Cassie said it. Danny Phillips told you it's on video. The defendant was in a towel. The freak-off was not over. There's no separating the violence and the sex. Remember when Cassie OD'd in the hotel room in Long Island and they still had the freak-off? When Jane performed oral sex on Antoine after Combs beat her? That was trafficking. Mr. Agnifilio said Cassie won a prize. What prize? Sex with a UTI? Getting urinated in her mouth? It's ridiculous. They had a trauma bond. They were trapped. The cost of trapping them was a drop in the bucket for Mr. Number One on the Forbes list. He pushed her to continue after she vomited. He knew she didn't want to. The Intercontinental, they claim he was intoxicated. That it was about a phone. He knew what he was doing. He kicks her. She calls security, so he stays to keep control of her. I want to be clear. They call Antoine because he was the only repeat player in LA. They stopped with Cabral after he tried to extort Jane. Whatever words he used about a conspiracy between Jane and Antoine, there's no evidence for it. He coerced Cassie and Jane into this, and nothing happened. He raped Mia, and nothing happened. He beat Cassie, and nothing happened. He beat Cassie in a hotel on tape, then bribed the guards to buy it, and nothing happened. He was untouchable. He did not think these women would speak, and that Kid Cudi and Deontay Nash and other men would back them up. The defendant is not a god. He stands equal before the law. Find him guilty. Jurors, you may leave to Monday. And then the judge says the laptop and exhibit list should be ready Monday. We'll see you here then. Oh, there was some pictures. Hard work. All right, so we are officially on verdict watch. Okay, this Diddy sitting at the table, his defense team and things. All right. That's pretty much where we are. I think the boy coming home, like none of it, they overcharged him and they're gonna lose. Diddy didn't offer money though. I don't know how to say attack part. Dude, they were trying to get the video. They said, what we got to do to get the video? And the security guard called back and said, my boss said 50,000. So that's not bribery when the person asks, when the person tell you what they will give you the video for and you agree. That's not bribery. That's buying the video. That's no different. They sold it to Diddy, but they could have sold it to TMZ. They could have sold it to the highest bidder. Would TMZ be accused of bribery if they bought the video and put it out? That's just not how things work. The video was going to get sold. It was going to get sold anyway. Why not be the person that's on it to buy it? And the NDA, no NDA ever stops you from speaking to police if it's something criminal going on. So if the police had actually come to him and if there was a police report filed and he was named as a witness, the NDA would not have stopped him from telling the police, yeah, I witnessed the assault. But whatever. All right, y'all. That's all I got. Until the next episode, we out. Never been a hoe, I stay on go, so what the business? Nigga talking reckless, shoot this bitch ass with the quickness. Now he bleeding, sorry, begging, asking for forgiveness. Bow, 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 limp biscuit. All my niggas wildin', they done labeled us a misfit. Wake up every morning, 2 or 3, 5 in the tidbit. Oh shit, didn't nobody come to see you old. It's some focus, shoot 100 shots, no reloaded. Master of the game, you would think I'm into coded. Memphis niggas spit this pippin', mackin' like I'm golden. Ho, with my money, you gon' turn me to the old me. Say hi, first class flight, I'm in the nosebleed. Hop it, cook it, whip it, ship it till we count the proceeds. OG, I've been moving pack niggas since 03. Low key, niggas hating, but they don't want no beef. State gang, true sippers, bitch, I bet we gon' eat. Get jammed, get a lawyer, make it bunny, don't speak. Pour up, I need some more. A nigga had a long week. Shout out to my plug, he showed me love, he out in Long Beach. I'm true geek, walking by myself but left with 2 freaks. Ooh, we nothing in they mouth and on they booty. Austin Power swag, yeah baby, this is groovy. You can call me Money Boy or you can call me Nudie. Hood niggas, churches, chicken, let me get a 2-piece. Top down, 2-seater, let me feel the 2 breathe. Gotta hold it steady, chopper, kick it back like Bruce Lee. Lately I've been in the zone, I guess I'm in my 2-3. Don't call my phone for nothing less than a QP. Feeling like the Migos, cause my bitch is bad and bougie. All my haters love me, all these bitches just some groupies. Came a long way, I like to introduce the new me. Standing on business like I'm king or like I'm Drewski. Call me Run Island cause I like my love for choosy. When we link it's a movie, she bustin' like a Uzi. I love the way she do me, I beat it up like Uzi. She dancing just like Suki. Call me Run Island cause I love my love for choosy. When we link it's a movie, she bustin' like a Uzi. I love the way she do me, I beat it up like Uzi. She dancing just like Suki. I never been a hoe, I stay on go, so what the business? Niggas talking reckless, shoot this bitch ass with the quickness. Name pleading, sorry, begging, asking for forgiveness. Bow, 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 limp biscuit. Never been a hoe, I stay on go, so what the business? Nigga talking reckless, shoot this bitch ass with the quickness. Name pleading, sorry, begging, asking for forgiveness. Bow, 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 limp biscuit.